Alrighty, well, I spent all day working on this thing. Didn't actually take any video of it because for some reason last night the side of my face swelled up and it's making talking kind of a bitch, so I didn't really do any video of talking about telling what I was doing or anything like that. I just plugged away at it best I could. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. But I at least figured I'd give you a rundown of what I did so far. Changed out this belt because the I haven't changed it since we got it, and the old one wasn't too terrible, but it had for some weird reason had like a sideways kink in it. How the heck that happens on a V-belt, I don't know. And then there was like a slit going through it, kind of about halfway through the belt and about halfway in. So I figured it's probably about time to change that before it went up and quit on me. And then I had to pull the throttle cable off of it, and I pulled the center out of it and had to lubricate it and clean it off because it over the winter it kind of froze up a little bit, and I couldn't get it to go wide open. So I got that. Now it works good, and I actually apparently it was out of adjustment to begin with because now I got to idle a whole lot lower too. So now that's all working good. Put the new lift pump on it, which made a big freaking difference. And I put that on there and then changed the fuel filters. And even with the fuel pump empty and the fuel filters empty, it primed up in about, I don't know, 10 pumps. The original pump would never prime it up that fast. And then, while I was working on that, because I had this panel and this panel come out of the, or sorry, this panel and this panel come out of the grain tank, so you can get to the back side of the motor. So I was in there, something made me look down. I happened to notice these two rubber lines on the oil cooler, and I grabbed one and kind of bent it a little bit, and a bunch of big cracks opened up. So I was like, shit. So I probably ought to change that. So I was looking at them, I was like, well, you know, a couple little 3-inch long hoses, how hard could it be? Hour and a half later, I got those changed. Because they don't have the lines coming out of the oil cooler lined up with the lines coming from the well, this one comes off the water pump, and this one right here comes off the thermostat housing down to the oil cooler. But they don't have it all lined up, so the hoses don't just slide together. This one's actually got about a 45-degree bend in it. This bottom one does. And then, to make things worse, this bottom line actually runs behind this line right here. So this outside one isn't too bad to change. This back one, on the other hand, is a bitch because you can't move that line with this one in the way. And even with this one kind of half out of the way, you still can't move that line. So I had to take it loose up here. Had to pull this stud out of the motor, get all these clamps loose. Actually had to tweak this line a little bit to bend it out so I can get this line off the side of the motor to get it at an angle. And then to make things worse, it's right in the way of the trunnion mount on the motor, so you can't move it back far enough to get it disengaged from the hose at a straight angle. So I had to get the whole thing off the motor, get it kind of leaning out where I can get it going at an angle where I can get the hose to slide together, and it was just it was a bitch. And I lost about a gallon of antifreeze, and we didn't have any left, so I have to get some on the way home from work tomorrow. But I got that done. Changed the fuel filters, changed the engine oil. So it's good to go as far as that. And then, while I was working on the everything on the back of the motor. For some reason, the hood slammed down on, which, I mean, I shouldn't say slammed down on, because it was still hung on the mount, so it didn't really hurt me or nothing, but the pin broke in that hinge, so I took a piece of welding rod and made a new pin for it. Just kind of swedged it in there the best I could. So everything up here should be taken care of. And then the other thing I did was, this is the Pitman arm for the shoe drive. Moves your shakes your sieve back and forth. And that bearing and the one up top there are the same ones that went out on the 525 last year. And we've kind of gotten in the habit that if something goes wrong with one combine, we just automatically get the parts and change it on the other combine, since this thing and the 525 are, for all intents and purposes, identical. So, change those bearings out, which one of them was a little growly, the other one wasn't bad, but best change them now while I've got it sitting here in the shop than out in the field when I need it. And then really, well, there's two other things. I need to get one more bearing ordered for the unload auger, because we actually knew it went out last fall, but I kind of forgot about it and didn't order it. So I need to get that coming. Dad got this tore apart while I was working on changing the engine oil in it. So it's ready to go back together as soon as I get the parts for it, which I'm going to call and order tomorrow. And then the last thing I got to do, major thing I got to do, is pull the power steering motor off and change the shaft seals in it, because as you can see, it's kind of leaking a little bit. Actually, it's leaking a lot, which I will get video of that, because that's, even if my jaw still feels funny, because that's a little bit more than your average everyday wrenching maintaining, so it's probably actually something worth taking a video of. Doing the pump motor doing the steering motor shouldn't be bad. The thing I'm not looking forward to is re-bleeding the steering lines, because that's a bitch. It took me forever to get the air out of the lines when I redid the hoses on this thing the first year I had it. I think you got all the air out of the lines. I threw it back together, and it still took me probably 6-7 acres of combine and then steering to get it to where the steering wasn't all wonky anymore. So, other than that, this thing should be pretty much ready to go. My wisdom teeth didn't cost me nearly as much to get done as I thought. They initially told me I was going to have to pay $1,200. My insurance paid way over half of it, but with the initial quote, even in my insurance paying over half, I still have to pay $12. But when I actually got there and did it, they quoted high, and I only had to pay like just shy of $700. So it gives me a little bit of money to play with, and I'm contemplating going ahead and getting my LED light bar for this thing this fall, but we're working 10-hour days this week, which equates to 12-hour days with my hour back and forth drive, so I don't know, I'll have to get on, I'll probably screw around on Amazon tomorrow at lunch and see what I can find, and if I can find one for a half-ass decent price, I may go ahead and get it ordered, but I don't know if I'll actually get it on there this year or not. It'd be cool, but oh, I also got to blow the air filter out. Kind of forgot about that. Probably to get that done. So, yeah, other than that, and I kind of got to diagnose the charging system a little bit. For some reason, it keeps wanting to go to full charge, although it is getting better. And I think part of the problem was I was cranking on it a lot when it lost prime, sitting over at the barn the 2 times that it did it. So it may just have to throw a trickle charger on the battery and bring it back up to snuff, and that may take care of the problem. I don't know. So anyway, like I say, I'm sorry I didn't get any better or more video actually working on it, but my freaking lip is really, or it's not bothering me. It doesn't hurt or nothing. It just makes talking awkward. So anyway, I guess that's where we're at on the combines right now. So this one should get done this week, and hopefully Friday run this over, swap it out for the 525 and get it over here and work on it next weekend and next week and get it ready, and should be pretty much ready to roll as far as harvest goes. Got to do some work on the chisel plow to get the new points put on the Glencoe, because I got cupped points for it now, and I'm going to go ahead and get the 2-inch spikes put on the 3-point plow for chiseling bean ground. But tractors are pretty much ready to go. Don't have to do any service work to them. Other than probably blow the air cleaners out and get them dualed up, which is probably going to wait till it's ready to use them so they don't take up so much space in the barn. But anyway, that's where we're at right now with service work, and I guess that does it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.